This video is brought to you by WeatherTech. WeatherTech makes the best, highest quality floor liners in the industry, and these are the HP model. This is super deluxe, very high quality, super easy to clean, and of course made in the USA. But don't just think they make floor liners. Check out these seat protectors. Great for your furry friends. You got the doors off, the top off on your Jeep. These will keep your seats protected. Check out the link in the description below for all your accessory and vehicle protection needs.
Hey Andre, did you know there's a new sheriff in town?
Yes, it appears to be a new Chevy truck.
Yes, a new Silverado police truck. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know because, when you're driving down the road and you see those lights, you want to know if it's a real police truck or somebody from the fire department or snowplow. So let's talk about the new Silverado police truck.
Yeah, and they're calling it 2023 model.
Okay.
So this is the next design, the next iteration of their police truck. And you can see immediately this by the front grille, right? The front grille is brand new, the headlights, and they integrated the police lights, as you can see in some of these images, directly into the grille on top and also in the back.
Police trucks are becoming very popular because they're the most off-road worthy of the police vehicles, right? There's basically three. There are sedans, there are SUVs, and now there's this whole class of police trucks. And so let's talk about the details. To me, basically, it seems like a trail boss for the cops.
Yeah, and it actually starts up with a WT. WT is their work truck version. It kind of makes sense, right? Police departments, especially big ones, their budgets are limited, right? They don't have a ton of money. So it starts with a work truck, which has the current interior, actually. But then under the hood, they put still the 5.3 liter V8, which has been around for a while.
385 horsepower?
No, 355 horsepower.
I was off by 30.
And 83 pound-feet of torque, dude.
Okay, so the good old V8.
Yeah, the good old Ecotec
V8
or Vortec.
And I've also read that they've put on better shocks, Ranchos from the Trail Boss.
Yeah, so I was a little bit surprised about this because we have to compare it against the competition, right?
But let's finish talking about this before we start.
And this Silverado PPV, they call it, the police truck, is prepared to do some off-road work, and they actually show it off-roading at their proving grounds.
So we've got Ranchos.
Rancho shocks, all-terrain tires, rear G80, right? The locking mechanical
and
differential.
bigger brakes, I've read.
And Brembo brakes, yes.
Yeah, on the front.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense because higher speeds are possible when they're chasing.
Well, not too high. I mean, trucks tend to max out at about 90 miles an hour. They get very light, let's say, right? A lot of air goes underneath them and they kind of start to want to take off. I've actually been in a truck going very quickly and it's not the most fun. How about towing rating?
So we don't have all the specs. They didn't disclose towing rating on this.
Are you sure? Because Zach told me the towing rating. I think they did. Yeah, I think the towing rating is there. I want to say it's just over 9,000 pounds.
Well, that makes sense because the other Silverados in this class are around the same.
Yeah.
And if we have to compare it against the competition, because F-150 has a police version of the truck, Ram 1500 has a police version of their truck. And dude, I recently went to California Highway Patrol, and I got to peek behind the curtain, and those videos are coming. And that was very interesting because I also learned that, for example, they currently have used the Tahoe in California as one of their police vehicles. And mostly they said that's for kind of mountainous terrain, right? If it snows on mountain highways, these four-wheel drive vehicles are the key to success.
So let's talk about the Ford.
Yes. So let's switch gears a little bit. So for 2021 and 2022, the 14th generation F-150 also has a police version of it.
The Responder.
The Responder. And they have announced it almost a year ago. This puppy has the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 with a little bit more horsepower. So 400 horsepower now and 500 pound-feet of torque from the EcoBoost. And 10-speed automatic. By the way, the Silverado also has a 10-speed. So that's a really good transmission. And Ford announced their top speed at 120 miles an hour. That's what they say the police responder F-150 is capable of. I just called General Motors right before this meeting, this video, and I asked them their top speed. They said it's not rated yet on the Silverado.
Dude, 120 miles an hour in a police truck is pretty sketchy. I don't, usually the problem isn't the truck, it's the tires, right? The tires usually
Yeah.
aren't rated for that kind of speed, and especially off-road tires aren't rated for that kind of speed. So I think this is more on-road rated.
That's why I was
Yeah.
surprised by how that GM is going a little bit more off-roady. Because if you look at this F-150, it's basically all-season tires they're using there. And what General Motors told me is that in October of this year, they're going to send their latest Silverado 1500 police truck, and they're going to give it to the Michigan State Police. They're going to test it on their at their facility, and also California will test it.
Yeah, those are the kind of the two police departments
Yeah.
that do most of the testing, and then the other police departments tend to follow. I mean, trucks are great as police vehicles because they have a lot of room. And you can see it right there. You can see the interior right there. There's a lot of gear that police officers not only have to have in the truck, but that they carry on themselves, right? You've got a lot of stuff, bulletproof vest, and there's just a lot of room in a truck. So it's a very comfortable place to be versus, let's say, even though they're really cool, like a Mustang or a Charger. Yeah.
Which is a sedan, and it's kind of cramped.
Yeah.
And exactly. Police officers, what I met at the CHP, California Highway Patrol, said exactly the same thing. Some of the bigger guys prefer actually trucks.
And then you have four-wheel drive, of course, which is great as well for inclement weather or if the bad guy decides to go off-road. What about the Ram?
Yeah, the Ram has a solution for this too.
Okay.
They have the law enforcer version of their Ram 1500, and this puppy, not surprisingly, has a Hemi under the hood, basically the 5.7 liter, same ratings as actually a civilian version, the 395 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. It's a good old Hemi with an 8-speed, and also very similar configuration as far as kind of a basic truck. And look, they also showing Ram boxes with rifles.
Sure, why not? That seems like a good place to put your rifle. The truck wars are now heating up in the police truck wars. Who would have thunk? A few years ago, police cars were just that.
Yes.
And now, just like the rest of us, the police departments are getting into the act and getting trucks. And it makes a lot of sense. I think to see that in your rearview mirror is a lot scarier than the old
small sedan or something.
the old what were they? They were old like Lincolns, right?
Or Crown Vics.
Crown Vics, yeah, the old Crown Vics.
I don't want to see any red and blue lights behind me, Roman.
I
I don't want to see any of them.
Oh, also steel wheels. I think the Chevy also gets steel wheels. So I remember from a bunch of stories I've done on police trucks, they do like their steel wheels because they do tend to run over curbs, and steel wheels are probably a little bit better option.
Yeah,
and that's on the Silverado too. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you were saying, brakes are important, wheels are important, suspension is important because it sees hard use, a lot of idling too, right?
Yeah.
They're usually sitting there, and then hard accelerations. It's kind of a tough life a police vehicle lives. And I saw something else at the CHP Academy that when I was there, I saw a heavy-duty police truck.
Oh, wow.
So that video is coming still. I had no idea they were using heavy-duty trucks, but they are.
Let's go back to the Silverado. Can you pick up one of the other pictures so we can show it to them?
Yeah.
Guys, by the way, we've got a new all-in-one shopping destination for all your TFL needs. It's TFL-Studios.com. We just engineered that site, so we've got all of our podcasts, all of our news stories, all of our videos. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest, what's happening in the automotive industry, it's right there. Check it out. It looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. It's been freshened up, and it's much more clear than before, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it represents, there you go. We're back to the Silverado. Let's see it from the back. Look at that. They did the tailgate, Andre.
Yeah, so the multi-flex tailgate that opens up in several sections is also there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat that they actually are offering it. And you can also see more lights built in kind of into the rear of the cab and, of course, on top.
Yeah, so Silverado and GM are now in the police truck game. And I'm going to take a wild guess here, and I think it's not too out there. I suspect that police trucks will become the new it thing for police departments. Because it's just an all-around vehicle, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can store a lot of equipment in the back.
You can tow stuff with it.
You can tow.
You can put the bad guys in the back because there's also a ton of room in the back.
Yes.
And they're already, let's say, a little bit more reliable in some ways, because they're trucks, right?
Yeah, the hard frames, heavy frames.
Yeah, they're more likely to take up the abuse that the police departments put in when they're, driving these things 24/7, which sometimes they do. right?
Yeah, I'm really curious about this, and I think we'll see more of them across the country. Colorado Highway State Patrol uses F-150s.
Yeah.
I've seen. So maybe they'll switch, to some other manufacturers like Chevrolet or Ram.
All right, and guys, we had a really interesting video shoot this week. We got to race some heavy-duty diesels. Why don't we give them a little sneak peek? Let's roll that preview. That video's coming up this Saturday, so you can go to TFL Studios if you miss it, or you can just watch the preview and see what me, Andre, and Nathan are up to. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Ciao. Hey, Andre, what's better than drag racing mid-size trucks?
I think half-ton trucks.
That's right, Andre. And Nathan, what's better than drag racing half-ton trucks?
Heavy-duty trucks.
And boys, what's better than drag racing heavy-duty trucks over an eighth a mile? Okay, traction control off. I'm gonna win this one. I know this. All right, here we go. Come on, Ford. Oh, Nathan took off like a bat out of hell. No, I am floored.
Duramax says bye-bye!
It's so close, so close. And here comes Andre. Come on, Cummins!